Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one. It's a little box with a beautiful Brilliant Wings dies on the top, and they're just lovely. And I kind of thought, I've not used that for a while, so I thought I'd bring it to you. Now, I know we're right ahead of Christmas, but it could be that you've got a New Year party that you're going to. I don't know if anybody's doing that this year, or maybe you just simply want to make a very pretty box. So that's what this one is. And it just folds open. If I slip off that, do you know what? I'll show you how it opens and closes when I make the other one. Okay, so this is my first video back after my wrist injury, and perhaps, I don't think anybody knows, I've actually been off my feet as well for the last 10 days. Had a little fall in London, slipped on a wet patch of pavement, went bang, crashed down on my hip and an already arthritic knee. So actually I've been on full bed rest for about 10 days. It's not been good for the last couple of weeks. Okay, so yeah, I've still got my hand, my wrist protected, my knees protected. It's just the whole of my right hand side is not good. Okay, piece of cardstock, 11 by 7.5 inches. You see, I've got all my measurements here. 11 by 7.5, which is 28 by 19. On the long side, score it at 2, 4.5, 6.5 and 9 inches, which in metric is 5, 11.5, 16.5 and 23. Then on the short side, score it at 2 inches and 5.5, which in metric is 5 and 14. And you don't need to worry about writing anything down. If you click open the description bar, you will see a hyperlink there directly to this project, and you can follow along, watch the video with the instructions underneath. And there is also a hyperlink to all of the products that I'm using as well. So we are inside our flash sale at the moment. These dies aren't retiring in this sale. It's all of our festive Christmassy stuff that's going. Finished dimensions of the box: 2 inches tall, 2.5 inches that way, 3.5 inches that way, which is 5 centimetres tall by 6.5 going that way and 9 centimetres that way. Nice size box. Okay, so yeah, I've been out of action for a couple of weeks, and I know, obviously I let everybody know that I'd injured my wrist quite badly. Let's get some decent scissors. And yeah, that was on the Monday, and I rested my wrist all week, ready to come back to work the following Monday. Went to London on the Sunday, and it was spitting. It was that horrible sort of not wet rain. Everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. That horrible fine light rain. And it just, I mean, London's fabulous, but it's also dirty. And it just made all the roads really greasy. And I was on a pavement going past a restaurant. So I was just off Bow Street, just behind the Royal Opera House. And whoop, my feet went from under me. I went backwards, landed on my bottom, smacked down on my hip. I kind of threw myself away from my bad knee. I still managed to smack it into the ground. That was it. Fortunately, I was joining my lovely upline and some of my demo sisters for an afternoon tea, so I was able to sit for about 3 hours and not move it. But when I did get up afterwards, yeah, I with quite a lot of pain. A couple of hours at the ironically named walk-in centre the following day, and yeah, full bed rest. So that was fun. Big shout out to my amazing team who have been incredible. They have, well, not that I have to particularly manage our team group anyway, because they are fabulous in their own right, but they've done Zoom meetings and they've set challenges and answered each other's questions. Just proper rock stars. Okay, so you've seen what I've done as I've been chattering on. These 4 squares, we keep them straight, and it's all of these that get wedged and then a bit chopped off. And the bit is chopped off because otherwise there would be too much. This cardstock is going to fold up like that and it would overlap and bulk, and that's just never pretty. Okay, so I've got a piece of designer series paper. Now this is from our core collection, so this isn't one of our big 12 by 12 sheets. So we've got a colour for every single shade we've got, except black and white. And that is going to sit on one of these panels here, because this is going to be the top part. So this is Fresh Freesia, which is a gorgeous colour. And if you've been following my Instagram stories, I was when it was just my wrist out of action, I posted that I was working on some planning, and I always use 2 colour pens when I'm planning. I'm planning my blog activity, and it's a very good. It's not quite Highland Heather, this purple. Not quite Fresh Freesia, but it's a bit in between. And these were the 2 pens I was working with, and I thought, oh, I wonder what those colours look like together. So I'm reckoning Granny Apple Green and maybe Fresh Freesia or Highland Heather. So that's where my head is at when I'm working. But yeah, didn't lose the time. Did make use of it for prep and planning for all my activities and stuff that's going to come out to you the other side of Christmas. My fabulous husband had taken the week off work because we were meant to be doing Christmas stuff, which didn't happen. But he'd planned it, so he was off and able to step in and do all of the school runs, and because I can't drive, and all the cooking and stuff. So yeah, it's been quite the week. So I'm literally filming this right before you're seeing it, which I never do. I'm normally well ahead. Okay, so this one being the top, we're going to put these tabs underneath here, like so. Okay, it would appear I've got a score line in the wrong place because that's too tall. What have I done? Have I scored in the wrong place? Oh, I have. No, I can't have done, because that's the right measurement. Oh well. Well, we'll see what happens when I come to it. But yes, thankfully I work very far ahead, which has meant that nobody's noticed that I've been off for the last couple of weeks. What have I done there? Have I cut? I've cut something wrong. No, that's right. That's not. Oh, whoops. Cut one side slightly too long. How peculiar. Obviously didn't cut my cardstock straight when I was prepping it. But you'd never know. So that folds over like that and still looks exactly like that. How funny. I must have literally just cut that. What is that? That's 1/4 of an inch. Too long. Oh well. Right. Let's get in with a little cut and emboss. And somebody asked me the other day how to layer this, layer their plates. So base plate, plate number 1, and I'm going to get out my dies. Oh, and apparently throw them at myself. So with this set, you've got one big outline, so it's one big die, and then you've got all of the butterflies that can go inside. And I'm going to take 3 that layer. There's 3 that layer nicely. So my tip for you, I want the smallest one to be the palest one. And I don't know if I can show this. So with this small plate, or with this small cut and emboss, let me just get that out of the way for a second. When you line it up completely flat like that, it kind of doesn't like it very much. They are all beveled edges. By beveled, I mean, oh, focus on me. There we go. By beveled, I mean it gets thinner here. But when you go like that, it becomes too much of a solid. So what I tend to do is I offset it very slightly. That's quite exaggerated, so you can see what I'm talking about. but I offset it enough that it just slides through. And I'd shared that tip before and somebody asked me about it and I said, yep, no problem, I'll add it to a video, which obviously I haven't done because, you know, I'd already prepped all my stuff in advance and I couldn't shuffle anything about. Oh no, that's the wrong one, I want a bigger one. But I'm able to bring it to you now. So hopefully you can see that is offset just a little bit and it just happily glides through then without any issues whatsoever. Whereas, like I say, when you have the 3 plates all together, oh, that's not good on the wrist, it just doesn't want to go through. Doesn't want to play. Oh, you see, look, I'm too busy chattering and not concentrating on what I was meant to be doing. Let's get another bit of that out. I was meant to put that through upside down. Okay, there's my little baby one. Should I try all of this again? The thing with die cutting machines is that they do all have their own little quirks and foibles, and mine likes to be cut upside down because, you know, why not? And yeah, they all have their own little quirks and things, and this is mine. My machine does not like to be the right way up. Where's my washi? Let's just do this. It's just one of those days, isn't it? Right, try this again. And yeah, so I find that detail dies, you need to have the die face upright and it just all pops through much, much easier and far more cleanly. Pop those out there, and then where's my die brush gone? So there it is. Let's get these last few. This die brush is absolutely brilliant. You can see how much it's picked out. Pretty much all of it. It's only the odd one or two. So that's the die brush that goes on the Take Your Pick. And let's get those last few out. There we go. And then now it's just a case of layering everything up. So I've got one left in there. So I'm going to have mini glue dots. Into the centre, and then this smallest one there, and then I'm going to put a couple of mini glue dots. Oops. There and there, and then just check which way round my box is. That way. Pop that in the middle, and then I'm going to bend up the middle one and that one and a little bit there, and then just to finish it off, I don't know if I've got enough left on here. Oh, I have, that's good. I did buy a new one of these, my glittered organdy ribbon. Love it. Would hate to be without this stuff. Just going to cut off those tails. Position it around the front, or maybe they're a little long. Oops. Trim them down a bit. And those are my 2 boxes. So this one is Pool Party Calypso. No, it's not Calypso Coral at all. It's Pool Party Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay. And this one, Fresh Freesia Highland Heather. Gorgeous grape. Love them. I hope you like them too. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me. Hope to speak to you very soon. Bye.